What's up?
What is up, everyone? Jovan, how we doing?
Doing
Happy
great.
Friday, bro. Damn, you're
Damn
all
right.
decked out.
Got to be. Got to be.
That's a fresh jersey, dude.
You already
Have
know.
they? When's the last time they've worn those pops?
They wear them like twice a year.
Okay.
Last couple of
Is
years.
that a Josh Doxson jersey? Who is that?
No, we don't even sell. It's just the typical one jersey. It's all they sell. It's all they sell.
Okay. Good. It better not be a freaking Josh Doxson jersey.
Slow down. Still the GOAT. Still the GOAT.
Dude sucks. Dude was the biggest bust in the first round, maybe in years. That might not be true.
That's tough.
Guys, we've got a ton of baseball games today. We've got a bunch of college football games today. We've got a bunch of college football games this weekend that maybe we should touch on as well. Before we dig in, though, I figured we would just get the baseball, out of the way, talk about that a little bit. We've got a great series between your Rays and the New York Yankees, and I don't know if people know, but this is a tighter race for that division than people think. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. Is there a chance for the Rays to maybe make some noise here this series? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean it's a massive series, and I love that it's being played in the Trop. But I mean the Rays in this series, they get to miss Garrett Cole, which is huge. So I think it's Drummond going today. I think Clark Schmidt's going tomorrow, which I don't really know how extended he's been on a consistent basis either. And then they get Montes, who really obviously hasn't impressed anybody. So if there's any chance for the Rays to make some noise, it's this series. Because, I mean, their schedule's not the easiest down the stretch either. I mean, they have another series against the Yankees next weekend as well. And then it's a lot of interdivision games. I think their next 4 or 5 series are all interdivision. So this is a huge series for the both of them.
Huge. How many games they playing? 3?
3, yeah.
3-game series. They're 6 games back of the Yanks. How many games are left? We got 72 plus 57, 129. So 33 games left, 6 games out. I mean, a sweep here would do wonders. A sweep here would put you actually in a realistic, shooting distance. You win 2 out of 3 here. You're still in it. You never know. I mean, do people not understand that the Yankees just had an absolutely atrocious month of baseball? And to me, they look extremely desperate. They're calling up all these young prospects. They're kind of pulling out all these last resorts, I feel like. But let me pull up their record. They were 10-18.
Bad.
In August.
Bad.
That is their worst record and most losses in a calendar month since September of 1991. That's bad. That's not how I want my team, going into the playoffs here in the home stretch, getting close, right? We've got 30, 35 games left. This is when you want your team starting to play their best ball, from now going forward. And could that team flip a switch and turn it on and be really good for the rest of the season? Probably. Their roster's stacked. But I've been saying all year their pitching is overrated and they've been overperforming. And they had guys stepping up at the bottom of that order in the beginning of the season, and now those guys are absolute ghosts. Absolute ghosts. Nowhere to be found. I know they're calling up one of their prospects again for today. Do we think he's going to start, or is IKF still probably going to start? What are we thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, I have no real clue what their plan is, but it's not really affecting what I think about the game anyway. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference for this offense in the immediate.
Well, you know what I'd like to do here if that kid does get his first major league start. I like to fade good news.
Yeah.
Now, fading good news doesn't always work, right? Gunnar Henderson, he got called up for the Orioles, and they won that first game.
Well, that was different. Correct me if you know who's on the mound, right?
Well, was that Kyle Bradish day?
I believe so.
Okay. I mean,
it was one of the 2 games. It's either Kyle Bradish yesterday or no. I think it was.
I think it was a day off. I think
the Lyles game. Who was on the mound? The guy that continues to just defy logic.
He's the worst. Yeah. The Orioles find ways to win. The Orioles are a good baseball team. They are a well-run organization at this point. They're a mini Rays. Big analytics. They've got smart young guys running that organization. And they just not only do they find ways to win, they find different ways to win, which I think is really important.
I mean, look what they've been doing lately. Their rotation has like their bullpen's been good all year, pretty much, but
100%.
their rotation has been lights out.
It's
recently.
been weird with
Against
rando McGee's
teams too. I mean, like the Guardians' offense obviously hasn't been great as of lately, but I mean, what they did to the Astros, good God,
incredible.
Three runs, I think, in 3 games.
Absolutely incredible. Have to acknowledge a comment from somebody up here if I can freaking find it. Somebody said they're putting $1 bazillion on ODU today in chats. Here we go. Plus 232 for the game, 5K. Holy smokes. My man, I would take the points. I mean, it looks like the bet's already placed. So I wish you the best of luck. I hope that bet loses. You know I'm a Hokie. But I do think that there's a serious chance that we lose today. And we'll get to that. But let's talk some baseball, okay? Chat, how we doing? I hope we're having a pretty good Friday morning here. How can you not? We've got college football tonight. We've got a great MLB series starting tonight with Yankees Rays. We've got a great slate of college football tomorrow. And we're less than a week away from NFL. And I think I have my NFL play for that Thursday night game, but I'm going to wait and probably reveal that next week. But there's a play in that game that I absolutely love. Are there any other baseball games today that are sticking out? Any, crazy series? I'm seeing the Orioles now have a series against Oakland, which is great for them, right? Yeah. They better sweep that series. That line's moved down significantly. I'm seeing Dallas Keuchel pitching against Nick Pivetta today. That's absolutely hilarious. Josiah Gray for the Nats is pitching against the Mets. Josiah Gray has been out for 2 weeks because they're resting him. They're resting his arm as they should. Yep. Besides that, the Sandy Alcantara versus Charlie Morton game is interesting to me. The Braves are incredible, and Miami is maybe the worst offensive team I've ever seen in my entire life. But Sandy Alcantara is looking like he's going to win the Cy Young. Charlie Morton has been pretty good, especially of late, Uncle Charlie, right? But seeing the Braves here at minus 180 against Sandy Alcantara, you think that's pretty telling there? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like, I don't know if it's as much of a line against Sandy, though. That's my thing. Like, he obviously has been giving up, I'd say, more hits recently, a lot more contact, a lot harder contact, but it's also been because he's pitching 7, 8, 9 innings.
Right.
But he has looked a little more human outside of the Dodgers' complete game. He was lights out. But I think the line is just more of a play on the Marlins, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't know how their offense could get worse, but it seems like it has. In a game like this where the runs are going to be the difference, just a couple of them, I don't think that the Marlins offense is going to do much of anything. So I think that's more a reflection of the line. And I think it's going to be like the total is 6.5. And I think for a reason. And that's another thing that I think is reflected in the line because only a couple of runs is going to make the difference here.
How do we not take the under in this game? And I'm trying to use my baseball brain here. And it probably makes too much sense. But let's be honest here. The Marlins are probably not going to score off of Charlie Morton or this bullpen. If they do, it's going to be maybe a run or two. And the Braves are probably going to put up a run or two against Sandy at most as well, I'm expecting. Maybe they get a run or two off the bullpen, but that puts us at, 6 runs. I think this shit soars under.
I think the Marlins have a pretty good shot to win this game, to be honest with you. And
really,
that kind of goes along with the under because they're not going to beat the Braves in a shootout. If they win this game, it's going to be 2-1, 3-1, something like that. So
100%
not against the under at all.
1,000%. If the Marlins win this game, it's soaring under. It's going to be 3-2 at most, probably 2-1, probably 2-1. They're going to need a Sandy complete game or Sandy 8 innings, absolutely shoving, which is definitely possible.
Yeah,
that dude's a freak. He's awesome. Your White Sox, who I don't even know if I want to freaking talk about, but we will. How many games are they out now? I have the standings up.
They're still not too far.
It's ridiculous, dude. And they don't even deserve to be close. I hate this team.
They don't.
My guy in chat, Sub5s, has asked 17 times today, have I gotten a massage yet? No, I've not gotten a massage yet, but I'm going to get one this afternoon, actually. How about them apples?
Love to hear it.
Might get to relax a little bit. I'm also ridiculously sunburned, and my shoulders feel like they're in a fire pit from the sun. So that's good.
Ooh,
No sunscreen can protect me down here, bro. Straight up.
glad I got that in a bit. Josiah Gray,
Oh,
his just got bumped up a half. I'm hearing
his fantasy score,
his hits. What
dudes.
are you talking about?
His hits got bumped up to 4.5.
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Is he gonna get shot? Is he gonna get shelled today? Or is it
I
because
mean,
everyone's taking his over?
it's 4 to 4.5. I think they're getting more aware of the limitations, not so much being on the innings as much as it is the start by start.
I got you. So they're thinking, maybe they've done a little more research and digging and found out, kind of like how we just found out this morning, that they're not going to just automatically pull him after 80 pitches. They're going to let him go, but they might skip a start or two, right,
Yeah.
for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Which would mean more innings today, which would mean potential to have, more hits today. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's kind of what you're getting at. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I know I've seen a lot of people on it, to be honest with you, but I don't know, against the Mets, where I really don't expect them to keep him on a super short leash, even if he's limited. I just think that's perfectly fine, which is why I'm glad I got it at 4.
Did you take the over or under?
The over.
Oh, dude. Well, the Nats are facing a lefty today, a pretty decent lefty in Peterson. So good fucking luck. Good fucking luck today, Nats. And they won yesterday. So you think they might get to them?
I think they might a little bit, to be honest with you. I think there's a lot of different things that go on with this game. I think they could come out pretty hot in this game, which is like I wouldn't say I'm the biggest first 5 guy, but here's like a spot where I might consider it. I think they might get to Peterson a little bit early. And Josiah Gray, while I do think he's going to go up the hits, I think he can still definitely pitch well and pitch well enough if the Nats, get a one swing and make the difference early in the game. So I'm not for sure playing it, but I do kind of think they have a decent shot in this game.
Yeah, I do not disagree one bit, my man. I do not disagree one bit. Pretty pissed you're on the overhits, but that's okay. He could still pitch. He could still pitch okay. Give up, 5 hits. He could.
Yeah, 100%.
He probably won't. He could though.
Well, the thing is, like, the whole road Josiah Gray thing plays into the hits as well. Because I mean, it's not just that he pitches better on the road; like his command and everything is significantly better on the road. Which, yes, that means sharper pitches, but all in the same means a lot more in the strike zone against the Mets team that can definitely take advantage of that. So it's the angle of it too. And on the other side, like David Peterson, he's also terrible at home for whatever reason. I think you're getting a decent value, decent price on the Nats today.
Okay, good value. And value doesn't mean anything at the end of the day if the team gets clapped and they suck. Nope, but it could mean something. It could mean something.
It could.
Another great series today that starts Padres Dodgers. How about that? Yeah. I saw a commercial. It was a commercial about the series on ESPN, I think. I'm assuming they're doing Sunday Night Baseball for the series. I bet my left nut on it.
Probably.
Could almost guarantee you. And they had highlights. It was a montage of both teams, and it was all Old Nationals. So that was nice. Good to see, guys like Trey Turner and Soto and Bell getting shouted out. That was always good to see them in new uniforms. So it always makes me happy. If you can't tell I'm being sarcastic, grow the fuck up. Do you think Dustin May throws a gem today? I mean, he's looked like a freak so far, although he did lose his second game and didn't look as sharp, obviously. We got Darvish on the roads. I'm tired of hearing that narrative, but you can get him at damn plus 140, plus 145 against the young arm, coming back from an injury, the wild card. I mean, May could go out there and literally throw a no-hitter, or he could go out there and walk the park and lose the game. Do you have any leans in this one? Any thoughts?
It's a tough one to bet.
Yeah.
I really don't want to back the Dodgers, which is why I probably won't be. But I think we get some runs here for both pitchers.
Such a geek.
Yeah, huge series for the Padres. They're making up some ground, but I think we get some runs from both of these pitchers. I don't think they're going to be particularly sharp either way, or at least as sharp as Dustin May has looked. I think we get both runs either way. I think the Dodgers pull it out in the end, but I'm really not too convinced either way in this game. I don't think it's not a bet that is calling my name. I don't know about you.
Yeah. If anything, I would probably take the Padres at plus money here, but I mean, their bats haven't proven me shit. So I really want nothing to do with it. I will probably be staying off this game, maybe watching it tonight just to enjoy. But don't let the Padres get hot. They've won a couple games in a row. The Dodgers have also lost 2 games in a row. And have they even lost 3 games in a row this entire year? Well, I guess they have actually against the Pirates in that series at home. We know that. Let's go. Okay. Any other baseball games you want to talk about before we dive into some football?
What else do we got here? I don't know. I do kind of like a couple things here. I was kind of leaning toward this over in Arizona, to be honest with you.
Over 8.5.
Yeah,
Lauer Davies.
I mean, overall, just 2 offenses who aren't really fantastic, don't really scare you on paper. 2 pitchers who really don't scare you on paper too. But there are pitchers that give up a lot of contact, and I think against these offenses, that's significantly going to help, particularly Davies. I mean, Davies is just he continues. He's one of those guys where if you fade him, he comes out and looks like Cy Young every other time. I don't think that's going to be the case today. I think the Brewers bats in for a particularly good day. Lauer, he doesn't match up particularly well with this D-backs offense either. A couple of the bats starting to wake up too. I mean, Ketel Marte has been terrible for like a month now.
Yeah,
he's starting to be a little better over the course of the last week or so that's good for this offense. They got a couple pieces coming back and healthy. I would expect Carson Kelly to be back in the lineup. He's been in and out a couple games too. So, I mean, I think we see runs in this game.
Okay. Gosh, Carson Kelly's had a crazy season, man. He was hitting like under 100 the first like month or so, and he came out and was like, yeah, I really just don't know what the fuck's going on. I think he's been hurt a bunch of times as well. But there's been times in the second half where he showed life, for sure. I believe in him. I'm a Carson Kelly believer, and I hope he figures it out. I do.
You crazy enough to fade Jordan Montgomery today? I'm thinking about it.
You mean the best pitcher in all baseball right now?
Yeah.
Hey, Sampson on the road is no slouch, and this Cubs team has been playing well for months. Plain and simple. They actually have. I'm not saying they've been winning a bazillion games, but they've been showing heart. They've been scoring. They have been winning more in the second half than they have in the first half when they were just absolutely fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
They've been showing heart. Jordan Montgomery, is he going to go out there and pitch 8 innings, 1 run every single start the rest of the year? There's no fucking way. But am I feeling crazy and dangerous enough to fade that man's right now? I don't know. You're thinking about it though?
I'm thinking about it. Honestly, I think too. I forget who it was. I think it was one of the Jakes brought up the over in that game, which is interesting because the Cubs offense, who has not been particularly good for a while now, and the Cardinals offense, who hasn't really either. They had a couple games against the Braves where scored a couple of runs, but then they come in, other than the first game, pretty much laid an egg against the Reds and their terrible bullpen. For 13 innings of the game, they scored 1 run, I think it was, in that last one. They're going up against Sampson, who is good on the road, Jordan Montgomery, who's been the greatest pitcher in baseball. And I was a little surprised to see that 8 opener, to be honest with you. And I think it's still sitting there.
I can get behind this over as well. Like you said, the offenses are a little cool right now. 2 good arms on the bump. I wouldn't call Sampson great, but good enough. I've seen him pitch pretty decent in most of his starts this season. Jordan Montgomery has been literally unhittable. I would have probably thought this total would be at 7.5, to be honest with you. So I think it being at 8 is pretty interesting. I could get behind that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
I get behind that. My guy in chat said, am I at an all-inclusive spot? Of course, dude. Grow the fuck up. If you go to one of these spots and don't do that, don't even go on vacation. It's not even worth it. Treat yourself.
Oh.
Are the Rays safe to lock in today?
I'm locking them in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll be locking that in. I'll probably be Playing a lot on Prize Picks too. I know Randy has a runs and RBI up, which I'll probably be playing, especially because DeGen like that total too, the over there, which is another one that's really interesting. I was surprised to see that get steamed from 7 to 7.5 pretty quickly.
Vermont and Springs.
Yeah,
The over.
yeah. I mean, the only thing that concerns me is that out of this stretch where Herman has looked really, really good, the one team that has hit him up is the Rays. But in the same realm, baseball brain, that's because the Rays game plan and do a lot of analytic stuff, hitting wise and approach wise, better than a lot of teams. So I could easily see that being the same today. And then Springs has been Springs. We know what he's done. So wouldn't be shocked to see runs there either.
Yeah, I just feel like these games between these two teams are always close, always low scoring, always nail biters. That's kind of my take. Herman has looked so good of late, and Springs is no slouch either. He's been damn good all season, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So the over definitely sketches me out, but if that goes up to 7.5, I'll definitely take a peek at it. For sure.
I will say one of the things that I just noticed from watching it is these games are pretty tight for a lot of the games, and then we get to the 7th or 8th inning. One of these teams has a big inning. That's how a lot of these games are decided.
Okay.
Again, like whenever they play, I'm never shocked to see that, especially in the Trop.
Well, following that narrative, I'd give the advantage there to the Rays. I'd take the Rays bullpen over the Yanks. And if there's going to be a crooked inning in the 7th or 8th or 9th inning, it might be the damn Rays who do it.
Yeah.
Give me the M out. This line here gives me serious Mets, Dodgers, DeGrom versus Anderson vibes a couple nights ago, the sneak whale. Getting the Yankees, and I know the Yankees are only plus 115. They're not plus 130 or plus 140 yet, at least, like the Dodgers were. And that was such bait on the Dodgers. Jesus Christ. I mean, again, if you take the Dodgers, who are the best team that I've probably ever seen assembled, if you take them at plus money in any game, I'm not going to chirp you. I'm not going to be mad at you. You're getting the best team in baseball at plus money, sure. But that's bait, plain and simple. And I think the Yankees are in a very similar spot here. They're giving you the Yanks at plus money, which doesn't grow on trees. I know they haven't been playing well, but the Yankee tax, and it's the fucking Yankees. And I think everyone thinks that they're just better than they've been playing recently. It's bait. They're coming off their worst month in like 30 years. We'll be seeing. Yanks. Let's fucking go Rays. Let's get a goddamn sweep going. Let's make this fucking interesting, huh?
Yeah, too bad. Peter said that the Rays are sweeping, and not the
Peter's
best. Not the best in capping the Yankees. So
yeah, which that's okay. I mean, it's his own team. It is what it is. If that's his kryptonite, that's his kryptonite. But
I just hope man. I want us to win the 6, get at least 4 out of 6 from this next week here from them.
Yeah, you play them again.
Yeah, next weekend too.
I mean, I think you got to win 5 out of 6 at least, dude. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Howard, what are the remaining strength of schedules? Have you looked? I can pull it up right now.
I can tell you the Rays are somewhere near the top of that.
Of hardest?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll pull it up right now.
The Red Sox are the worst team they play the rest of the season.
Why do the Nats have the second toughest? That's fucking ridiculous, dude. Fuck that. Listen to the Nats' remaining schedule. This is fucked up. Are you ready? We play the Mets 6 times, the Braves 6 times, the Cardinals 4 times, the Phillies 7 times, the Orioles twice. We'd also play the Marlins 6 times, but dude, Mets, Braves, Cards, Phillies, Orioles.
Yeah, it's tough.
Wow.
You want to hear the Rays remaining schedule? I guess.
What do you got, brother?
Rangers is probably the worst team that play. I didn't see them, but Yankees, Red Sox, Yankees, Blue Jays 5-game series. Rangers, Astros, Blue Jays, Guardians, Astros, Red Sox.
Yeah, good fucking luck. Yeah, you guys have the 4th hardest remaining strength of schedule. The Yankees have the 13th. They play the Rays 6 times, like we already talked about. They play the Blue Jays 3 times, the Brewers 3 times, the Orioles 3 times, the Twins 4 times, which Twins blow, remember? And then Pirates, Rangers, and Red Sox like 12 times combined. So those are 3 easy series there, should be at least. But, I mean, yeah, they're definitely in a better spot than you guys, schedule-wise, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Night and day. But you never know. It's the Rays. They play good winning baseball, and the Yankees are not right now. So let's fucking go Rays. Come on. Let's pivot. Let's pivot to football.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yes, Trent, people who still bet on the Yankees are fucking clowns. I agree, brother. I agree. Crazy stat from yesterday from football. Crazy stat. Favorites went 16-0 outright yesterday, and they're 26-1 to begin the college football season. How about that? That's pretty wild.
Parlay all the favorite money lines today. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, that should hit. I mean, shit, it would have hit yesterday. It literally would have hit yesterday, which is wild. And I hate that. I'm sure there was somebody out there. I haven't really scrolled through Twitter much today, but I'm sure there was somebody out there that had that somewhere, somehow. But damn, there were some good games yesterday. I went 2-1 yesterday. I had the under in West Virginia Pitt, which looked great through the first quarter. They had 3 points in that game combined. And that game ended 31-38. Shit wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Sort over. Shout out Lauren. Great bet. I probably should have checked her card before I placed my bet. And then we've got Penn State, and bless their souls, they came through for the boys last night. Penn State -3.5. And the under in New Mexico State, Minnesota, which was literally free money. Literally free money. Good call with the pace of play. That game, I mean, New Mexico State didn't even get fucking close to scoring in that game. Minnesota absolutely dominated, and shout out, they only put up 38 points. Really no scoring in the second half there. A rare no sweater was what that was. Gotta love it. Let's head to today. We got a TCU game today or tomorrow? Is that game today or tomorrow? That's tonight. So both of our teams play tonight, which is dope. We might as well cut the shit and talk about them real quick, get them over with.
Yeah.
TCU sitting at -13.5 after opening at -7.5, which I love. I love two things about this. Obviously, I love that the line has moved this much for you guys. I think you obviously win this game. Now, I don't know if you fucking cover this game at this point, but that's a combo we'll get to in a sec. But I love that TCU opened at -7.5. I think that's a key number. I was tweeting about it last night. There's some spreads that when I see them in football, I stay away or I look to fade. And +7.5 is one of those fades for me. So them opening Colorado up at +7.5, giving you that full touchdown plus the hook, I think is a little bit of bait. Now that doesn't mean that shit ain't hitting. West Virginia last night, they covered the +7.5. Yeah. Although that game did open at 6.5 and got to 7.5, late. But TCU probably takes care of business today. Although I will say I've heard a ton of TCU talk. I'm sure you have as well. I mean, you go to school there too. What are your thoughts on this one? You guys cover that 13.5?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't very scared from everybody. Every single person who owns a Twitter account and follows any betting is taking TCU today. Realistically, that's what I've seen.
Yep.
I have my ticket. Shout out Ben. When Ben was going over like all the Vandy and the plays pretty early, I got in the lab, locked in some plays, and TCU -9 was one of them. So
good shit.
I'm very I like that one that I have, but the 13.5, it definitely scares me a little bit, especially being the fact that the total went up, I think, over a touchdown. And yes, I did see this.
Preston has $1 bazillion on TCU today.
He's been like betting them, I think, every day since.
Holy shit!
Since like
Dilberto's on him. Let's go. That's a W. This total did go from 54.5 to I'm seeing 58.5 consensus. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's still a significant move.
It is a significant move, and I think I don't know. I like it to an extent. It scares me being that both of these teams are playing multiple quarterbacks throughout the game. That's what would scare me for that total. Because obviously it's really hard to get into a rhythm of play as an offense if you're playing multiple quarterbacks, multiple offenses, and being that TCU they're just getting into the air raid offense that Dykes is bringing. So wouldn't be surprised if there's some growing pains. I think it might be in the realm of possibilities to get a good TCU live bet opportunity instead of tasting the 13.5. But I mean, just talking about it, like I think they should play really well in this game, 100%. I think my conviction on the team has more to do with the defense, and it's not saying that they're going to be the best defensive team or anything, or that they're going to be this fantastic unit, but I think I know what to expect from the defense a little more. Like they play a little havoc style defense, which with guys like the Gary Patterson defense used to be like put your guys out in space and let them finish one-on-one tackles, which because they had a lot of converted linebackers or converted safeties playing linebackers. Now it's not like that. Playing the havoc defense, less guys going to be on one-on-one matchups, which is good because we don't have many guys who are going to win one-on-one tackles. But offensively,
I was literally just about to say, like, I remember you guys being literally incapable of tackling last year. That was like your worst quality. Is that something that you guys should be a little bit better at this year? It reminded me of watching the fucking Commanders play because they also don't know how to tackle.
Bad. It was bad. I mean, I think with this defense that they're playing a little 3-3-5 with Gillespie coming in from Tulsa, but I think that it clearly puts them in better positions to where they're not going to consistently be in one-on-one matches, which I love.
Okay.
And on the other side, like Colorado State, they've lost a ton of guys on both sides of the ball. And their corners, their secondary really doesn't scare me. Like I think one of the props I'll be looking at, trying to be as unbiased as I can, I'll probably be taking Quentin Johnston, his receiving yards today, maybe a touchdown, but most likely his receiving yards because they have Quentin Johnston. I think he's 6'4", 6'5", and their tallest corner is not even 6 foot. And Sonny Dykes, if you know anything about his air raid offense, he likes to run the shit out of his number one wide receiver. And I've seen that too. I've headed out to a lot of stuff over here, and he's going to be a really, really big consensus for this offense. So he should get plenty of run today. So I like that. I think the offense is going to be good, but it might take a little bit to get into it.
Okay. That's fair. Hopefully your boys take care of business.
Yeah.
Are they rocking those jerseys today or no?
I don't think so. I think we're rocking the crispy whites today, I would assume.
Sure. I mean, you guys are on the road, so you probably wouldn't wear those cool jerseys.
Yeah.
But your guys' uniforms are always fire.
Always.
Let's talk about the Hokies game.
Let's talk about it.
I am seriously concerned for Virginia Tech today, sitting out at -6 against ODU, a school who I'm assuming most of you guys don't even know who ODU is. And our guy in chat is asking what receiver were you talking about for TCU?
Quentin Johnston.
Word. He's probably the next Josh Dotson, so don't draft him in fantasy when he comes out. But maybe take his prop today because he'll probably be really good in college. Yes, beam season. Hendon Hooker for Heisman. Yeah. Seriously, dude. Seriously, like give that a look.
He looked really good. Really good.
He is really good. And we're fucking idiots for letting him walk.
Yeah. You know who, quote unquote, looked really good that I'm so not buying into after yesterday? Spencer Sanders. You want to talk about, I know like the whole collapse wasn't on him, but he didn't play particularly well coming in the second half either. And
no,
I love that on paper it looks like, you know, Oklahoma State and their offense did really, really good yesterday because I'll be looking to fade them the rest of the year. And I think we're going to get some serious inflated lines with that offensive performance being a part of that. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, they let Central Michigan, who is no slouch in the MAC, but that's a MAC team. They let them put up a 44-piece. I mean, we know Oklahoma State doesn't play a lick of defense, but I think that's extremely telling.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, their defensive unit has been, when they have been good, their defense has been one of the better ones in the conference. And like last year, and you clearly tell who Oklahoma State is right out of the gate every game, every year. And yes, like somebody's saying, they lost their D coordinator. It's huge. And like last year when they were really good, they came out and their offense looked a little flat against Tulsa, but their defense was fantastic. And this year it's more of the opposite. They're starting to look like the quote unquote classic Big 12 team. No defense, all offense. That shit ain't going to fly come the Big 12 this year. So I will be fading them religiously.
Yeah, I think that's extremely fair. And I could definitely get behind that too. We might get a nice juicy line next week. Do we know who they play? Let's see.
I don't know who they play next week. I don't know if they have any great non-con matchups.
Let's see.
I think they might usually play Oral Roberts in a lot of sports. So that game may be coming up. I don't know if
they play Arizona State.
Ooh, that could be a decent one.
Arizona State stinks.
They do. You might get a really, really big line though.
They still got Herm Edwards running that team.
Do they? I think they do.
I think they do.
That's a tough first non-con game. There's two teams I want to, or a conference game, Baylor, Oak State. It's two teams I want to fade.
Yeah. Baylor, I want to just fade, for the rest of the fucking year, to be honest with you. When you told me that their win total was at 7.5, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. That's whack. All right, well, let's talk about the Hokies and get it over with. So I don't know if I want to actually fade my team, number one, because I want to watch them and root for them. But I've seen this movie before. Honestly, I'm curious, chat. Have you heard of the school Old Dominion before? Yes or no? Have you heard of Old Dominion as a school? Do you even know what that is? I'm trying to see the perception of people's brains not in the state of Virginia, if they've heard of the school or not. It seems like most people have. Okay. They've beaten us before. They actually beat us when I went to Tech, which was embarrassing in 2018. And then last year we took it to them. We beat them pretty decent. We didn't cover though. We didn't cover. This ODU team is a veteran team. They're very experienced, decently coached, and they're coming for blood. This is their Super Bowl. And VT is going through a complete rebuild, new coaches, new QB, new everything, pretty much. And we're still missing our big playmaker on offense there. I will say ODU's starting running back is out. He's suspended this game. So that could be good. But I also don't really know if that matters, because I just don't think running backs, unless it's like one of the best, unless it's like one of the Cook brothers running in college, I just don't really think that running back position is significantly important. I think it's more plug and play, especially when we're talking about pretty mid teams like VT and ODU. So I'm sure ODU's backup is not that much worse than the starter who suspended this game. But that place is about to be absolutely packed and rocking and loud. I'm scared. I'm concerned. The line opened up at VT minus 8.5. Now it's sitting at VT minus 6. Oof. That's concerning. It really is. Now, on the other side of it, I've seen a lot of ODU tickets, and I've heard a lot of ODU talk. Have you as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. I haven't seen a single person on the Hokies, which could be a good thing. I just think that line is extremely short. It's moving towards ODU for a reason. We've got a quarterback transfer from Marshall who is a gunslinger, but he throws a lot of picks, makes a lot of mistakes. I'm concerned about this game. I think we either lose outright or we cover, which is probably why I'm going to stay off of it. And I also just don't want to fade my school. But I think there's a real chance here that ODU wins this game. I do.
Yeah.
The totals moved from 52.5 to 47.5.
That's the
which I thought that was weird.
Because I mean, realistically, right? These are two teams that are both going to run the ball a decent bit, and they're both running behind offensive line with pretty much zero returning production, or older guys who are not very good. So I mean, I understand the move, and I know it's a little late to the party, but I might be playing that.
Yeah. Okay.
I might. I mean,
okay.
I don't know. I think in the same realm, like if we think ODU is going to seriously compete in this game, like I know West Virginia's defense isn't exactly the greatest in the world, but I don't think they're going to go out and play them close in like a 33-30 game either.
I mean, this is also going to be a tight game. I know VT is going to be playing tight. Probably so will ODU. I mean, they're going to be nervous playing against VT. First game of the season, right? So maybe these guys do come out tight and sloppy and shitty on offense. And we know VT has always been a defense-first program. I'm not willing to put my neck out there and say they're going to be defense first this year. I really don't know what the fuck to expect from them.
Yeah.
They've got all new everything. Zach Kuntz, ridiculous name. The tight end on ODU. This kid's actually really fucking good. And he's going to be a mismatch problem. Somebody in chat was just talking about him as well.
Yeah.
Ron was talking about him. Let's go, Ron. This kid transferred from Penn State, and our coaches have already talked about how he's going to be a matchup problem for us. We don't really have anyone that covers him. He could be a problem. DeGen, that's your take on the game, 23-17. You don't know who's winning, but you like the under? Okay. I mean, I obviously like the way that total's moving, for sure. And it's a rivalry game. It could be low scoring, tight, boring, a lot of nerves. A lot of nerves in that one. Let's move on. Guys, if you have any yes, I did go to BT with Caleb Farley. I've been to date parties with that guy and taking shots with him. He's the boy. Hoping his tendons and his legs can stick together for a couple of years so he can get the bag. He's a cool dude. Let's move on. There's a bunch of games today we need to talk about. You like anything in this Western Michigan State game?
I mean, not particularly. This is a really weird game. There's a lot of things going on here. I have a hard time backing this Michigan State offense when they're, having to replace so much production. It's just like I don't think Western Michigan's gonna be able to match up with them well either. That's the thing. So it's a pretty clear stay away spot from me. But I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that game?
I'm geeking at Beam Season's comment in chat. I think Michigan State, honestly, I hate to say it, but I think they probably roll. They probably roll in this matchup. They really impressed me last season, where they overperformed and kind of came out of the woods with an 11-2 record. I wasn't expecting that at all. I like Michigan State here. I do. I like the way the line's moving. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how long you've been looking at lines and betting these college football games, but these lines have been moving so early and so much more than I've ever seen. And I know it's week one. We'll see how it plays out. But, man, these lines are cooking, dude. They're moving a ton.
Yeah. It's hard, though, because I think you have to look at it in the same way, too, right? Like, it's not as big a move as you would see, or I don't think it means as much as like a week-to-week basis, because they are putting out these lines super early to get people to bet on them in one way, and then in another way, they're putting them out early so they get the money, and then they can adjust with information coming in for a long time here. Like
100%.
So the moves are being as significant as they are. I feel like you definitely have to look at it with a grain of salt a bit.
Agreed.
But, yeah. With that being said, I kind of think they roll too. It's just I have a hard time betting a team, especially to cover 3 touchdowns when all of their returning production is going to come from transfer portal. So I think that'll take a bit to come together too. But the Western Michigan defense is not very good. They're another team that cannot tackle to save their lives. I think that's I guess one of the things you could look for.
Okay. That's fair. We're not going to spend any more time on that game because it's gross. There's a really fucking good game tonight on Fox. Illinois, Indiana. This should be a good one. Big rival here. The line has moved again so fucking much. Illinois opened up at +5.5. They're +1. They're +1. That's insane. I mean, they're getting absolutely hammered. Everyone's betting them. You have any thoughts on this matchup here? I mean, I want to take Indiana at home, but I don't know if I can ignore that line movement.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can either. It's tough because this is another reason. Like, Illinois also played a first game here, and they played against Wyoming, who's obviously not very good, super one-dimensional team. But then we have Illinois, who Tommy DeVito, I will say, looks like he benefits greatly from having an offense where he can lean pretty heavy on the rushing game, which I think that's a super huge deal for him. So I think the pressure being off his shoulders a little bit definitely helps that offense. But yeah, the line move is pretty interesting. I mean, especially when we talk about Indiana coming off of the season that they did last year and Illinois coming off of the end of their season that they did last year, yet the line is where it is with Indiana being favored.
Yeah, and hence why I was trying to get involved with Indiana. I mean, I don't really know much about this Jack Tuttle guy. I know he came from Utah, but is he going to be decent enough? Is he going to be able to move the rock a little bit? I'm a big Tommy DeVito guy, and that's what concerns me. But maybe I just have to turn off my football brain here. and just bet Indiana because they're dog shit and they're a favorite against an Illinois team that's pretty decent. Maybe don't overthink this one.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And somebody was saying in chat, like, is it an overreaction? Or that was wrong. Yeah, is there an overreaction from last year? I think that certainly would be, the thing in theory, because they look good. They dominated a Wyoming team, but on the surface, it looks good. When you look deeper at that Wyoming team, they're not very good. They're not just that they're bad or a bad team. They're not competitive in the trenches. They're not competitive in skill positions. They're just overall, they don't have any of the athletes to compete with Illinois, which that's the fact of the matter. And when you look at this Illinois team, I think that's really good for them to kind of hash out their offense first, because Indiana is another team that's getting a lot of production coming from the transfer portal, and they didn't have a game to flesh that out. So this is a really, really tough game. I think it's going to be a really competitive game. It's going to be very similar to the Penn State game we saw last night. It's going to be a back and forth game that's going to come down to the wire.
That's fair. Yeah, somebody asked what's good, sir? Somebody asked what's we got a little raid over here coming from the Owners Box boys.
I think so.
What's up, gents? How we doing? We're talking some college football here. Yeah, Indiana's coach, Tom Allen, he's been there for a couple of years. Nothing special. Nothing special. I think I have to bet Indiana here, regardless of the line movements. Them opening up at -5.5 is fucking ridiculous, in my opinion. So I think that outweighs them sitting here at -1. I think I'm gonna take them today. Are you gonna play anything here, or are you just gonna be a normal person and sit this one out because you have no fucking clue what's gonna happen?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably end up sitting this one out unless we see any pretty telling late movement here.
Okay.
I just think it's going to be a pretty back and forth game that I don't care to get a part of.
Sounds good. You want to talk about some of these good games going on tomorrow?
Sure, we can hop into some of those.
And Chad, if you guys have any questions for us, betting wise today for any of the games, baseball, football, whatever, fire them in. We'll keep our eyes peeled, and we'll let you guys take precedence and ask some questions. So fire away. If you guys have any games you want us to talk about, yes, Willie, I'm at Pueblo Bonita. Place is fire. Michigan CSU he wants us to talk about. Okay. We could talk about that. I mean, Colorado State is actually butt cheeks, but I'll tell you right now, I'm not laying Michigan or I'm not laying Harbaugh -30.5 ever.
Never.
Ever. Not fucking doing that. I think he's an interesting coach. Try to be respectful. I think he's something. Colorado State, who, used to be a decent program, over the past couple of years. They were fucking terrible last year, and I think they lost their last 6 games in a row. These teams have also never played each other. This is a weird game. I don't want anything to do with Michigan. If I had to take a side, I would take Colorado State here, and I'm not in any rush to take it because you might be able to get another half a point if you wait till kickoff.
Yeah, I think honestly, this is kind of when I was looking at total wise. I think the over is the play here, if anything. So I think it was 61.5. This is another team that's in Colorado State. Obviously, I think Michigan's going to do their thing. It's Colorado State's defense. It's not very good. They're not very physical.
Right.
None of the above. But Colorado State sneakily is another team that's implementing an air raid system now that Adagio's gone there. And I think they'll be a little successful with that, that's why I think the total is a little low. I think the market can't really fully adjust, and it's hard to kind of read an air raid system newly being implemented against Michigan, whose defense is very good, obviously a lot more talented than the offense that Colorado State's going to put out. But I think they could get some points here, and I think along with that, I think there's the quarterback situation in Michigan that almost helps points production. Not just because they want to prove themselves, but against a Colorado State team where they know they can score points. They know they're going to win the game by quite a bit. They're going to give them that opportunity to throw the ball for as long as possible. And even when we get into garbage time and it's clearly out of hand, the physicality just doesn't match up. It really doesn't. So if we're talking running back, we're talking third stringers here. They are so much more physical in this Colorado State defense. So I think we get points.
Okay. I can see that. You're putting your money on the hands of Clay Millen, who I don't think has played a snap ever. A transfer from Nevada.
Yeah.
Maybe he could be good. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? I guess we'll find out tonight. It's Matt. Krabs, you're in Cabo. Get off the show. Grind never stops. Grind never stops, Matt. Doesn't matter where you are. What else do we got here? We want to talk about App State's UNC. I'm hearing a lot of that.
Yeah.
I'm super down to talk about that. I am extremely down. Give me App State to take care of business at home. They're a favorite against UNC. Are you kidding me? First of all, that should be enough as it is. Just to bet them. Whenever you see, almost like in college basketball, when you see a fucking, weaker conference team as a favorite or weirdly short against, a real Power 5 school. I think that's very telling here. I love App State. App State is no slouch in football. They're actually pretty fucking good. I think they were ranked at one point last year as well, although they kind of underperformed. I remember betting on them a couple times. They didn't come through. But they've got a veteran quarterback in Chase Bryce, and he's playing against UNC's quarterback who, the freshman, who I'm forgetting his name, May? Is it May?
Yeah, I believe so, right?
It's May. And May, they already have a game under their belt. UNC does. And we were both on that bet. Number one, fuck UNC.
Yeah.
Ridiculous outcome. One of the worst beats I've ever had in my life. We're not going to go in that. Charged to the game. But UNC, who couldn't even cover against FAMU without 20 of their guys. And honestly, man, FAMU was absolutely slicing the dice in that UNC defense. They looked like shit with all their backups. UNC's defense looked terrible. I think the veteran Chase Bryce is going to take advantage of that. This App State team is legitimate. They're a very well-coached team. This is probably their biggest game of the season, playing against a team like UNC. And that place is about to be fucking bonkers and loud as shit down there because that's all they got. That's all they got down there in the fucking mountains, in the boonies, just like it is at VT. There's no professional team around, so everyone from Roanoke drives up and acts like it's an NFL game. Shit's legit. It's very similar to App State there. That place is going to be going nuts. I'll take my chances with our guy, May. Jesus Christ. I thought that was like a robot for a second. I was so confused. Bro, get up here, dude. Get that stupid helmet up here. Okay, and he's gone. Literally just popped in, showed his face, and left. Okay.
I love it.
But I want to fade this May kid. I want to take App State, and I want to back the veteran quarterback, Chase Bryce, against the youngin, who, if you look at his stats on the surface level, they were incredible, but I watched him play that entire game, and he looked shaky. And he missed a lot of guys in the hands. He had a bunch of underthrows. It definitely helped him playing against a team like FAMU, who had literally no defense out there. If they played a team that was anywhere near a decent team, I think he would have actually struggled a little bit. I was not impressed by him. Don't be fooled by his stat line. Do not be. Give me App State at home.
I can't do it.
You can't do it.
No.
Why?
I think this is a little overreaction to their game against FAMU. I really do.
Oh no. What do you think, Cyborg Trent? What do you think, dude?
What? Which game?
What do you think about UNC App State?
Sounds like a donation.
Well, App State's a favorite against UNC, which is pretty crazy.
Well, that is crazy. Jeebus.
Yeah.
What's the
Jeebus
spread?
is right. They're -2.5 at home against UNC. Sketch.
Yeah.
So sus.
What about your Horned Frogs? They get it done today?
I mean, it seems like everyone and their fucking moms is on the Frogs today, which shocks me. But I'm riding. Not a Preston nuke. Definitely not a Preston nuke.
Yeah, we've heard the news, so we're all rooting for TCU tonight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a team bet more than TCU today. I'm concerned. I'm not even kidding. And Jovan agrees. I've never seen more people saying they're on TCU. It's insane. But the line's moved a bazillion points, so they're probably going to win. But we're at the point now where
it's with like -7 on it, bro.
That's incredible. Good for him.
He's been betting it since like 2 months ago.
Yeah, he bets like a little bit like every day or some shit, or like once a week. Dope. Hey, I mean, Jovan could get behind it. He's been slurping the Horned Frogs for the last couple weeks.
I don't really know why, but sure, let him have it.
This game. I
Sure.
think it'll be really good, though. I do.
like
Let
that
him
jersey.
live.
It's a dope one.
It's fresh. It's fresh.
Super fresh, dude.
Who's on
Super fresh.
It's just like the generic ones.
it? Oh,
Yeah. No
Where'd
one.
you get Where'd you get a game used helmet?
my
Is that
roommate.
Dave's? Yeah, it's Dave's.
Yeah, it's Dave.
What does Dave think about the game tonight?
He's deployed on the Frogs.
He's been deployed.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's already locked in.
Okay. Well, I hope he got a decent number. I know Big Dave is busy doing real life shit. But either way, we're all rooting for the Horned Frogs tonight. Okay. Rays or Yanks today, Trent?
Dude, I was already going through looking at series I promised not to touch, and that's one of them. That one.
You went through all the series starting today, and you crossed off half of them, saying, "Nope, not doing it."
No, like I'm done. Like, don't bet on these series. These are crucial series. Like, why even take the Yanks anymore? They are trash. And why are the Rays favored? Like, who gives?
Because they're gonna win.
Take it.
Because they're gonna win.
Exactly.
I'm gonna counter you, Trent, and I'm totally like, if you don't want to bet on as much baseball going forward, that's a plus. I'm doing the same shit. But I'm gonna counter and say that maybe these series with two good teams who need to win might be a little bit better to cap, because the effort level is going to be there at least. And you're not betting on the Nats, who might throw out a guy making his fucking debut out of the bullpen who gives up 10 runs because we suck. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. Like, I think all weekend is going to be Doyers and Stros for me. All weekend.
All weekend.
All weekend.
Murph.
You should just do
only thing that scares me
cards parlay every day.
Is Detmers tonight. That would be one to squeak for the Angels.
I do like the
okay.
Besides that matchup, Dodgers and Stros all weekend.
Yeah. Detmers could get it done today as well. Short favorite there at home. Your Angels have shown some life.
I like that under.
8.5.
The Angels Astros game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't like the under?
Why is it going up, and why is it almost at 9 with two good pitchers on the mound?
Well, the thing is, I can easily get convinced off this under, but I originally loved the over because Big Bang Friday in Anaheim, you got the Stros, the Angels, but you got Detmers and McCullers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was thinking it could soar under, but I mean, my favorite bet of all time is also Dodgers run line, but Angels overs. But this season's just been soaring unders. Stros love the under. Angels love the under. You think
that is true? Under? I think that line being at 8.5 and probably going to close at 9. I mean, the odds are juiced to the over with McCullers and Detmers, who, I mean, McCullers has only pitched a couple games, but he's looked incredible, and Detmers has looked like he's found his groove and looks really fucking good.
Yeah.
And you're saying these guys are under wagons, which they've been. But Trent, why the fuck is this total 8.5 then with two good arms?
No idea.
I think that's very telling. I think you ride your Angels overs here, your Angels bangs on Fridays, and you take that to the bank, and I think that shit's hitting.
Yeah, no, I think the book it with Trent Lay. I mean, if you're saying that, definitely not going to be on the under. It's going to be TCU spread, the Warriors ML, Angels over, and the Blue Jays by 2.
You're going back to the Blue Jays. You son of a gun.
Dude, I know. I don't know why I keep doing it, but I talked to a Leafs fan. He said they're a donkey.
You talked to the fan of the team. Leafs fan said it's a donk. I mean, I respect the shit out of Leafs fan, and he's awesome, and he's hilarious, but come on now. This guy's making his debuts?
No, he's not making his debuts. Shut up, dude. Shut up.
Yanks by 2, Cards by 2.
Shit's free.
I don't know about that one.
I'm actually cutting off. If anyone has the audacity to come on today and give me either of those teams, I'm just cutting them off.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's just let him go. Just let him go. Cut him loose. Anything else that's catching your eye today, Trent?
I mean, I definitely want to be spoon-fed some college football winners. Hold on, let me pull up DraftKings.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just being Krabs and just trying to fade my team because they're going to suck this year. But I think ODU +6 is a good look. but everyone else is on ODU as well. So I'm trying to wait it out and see. But that could be definitely a decent look. But I'm at the point where I think ODU either wins outright and just spanks us, or we win big. So I might just sprinkle on the ODU ML and cut the shit. It's kind of where I'm at with that game. But the only football game, I mean, I like Indiana because they're a Krabs bet dream today, being a favorite against a good football program, Illinois. And like Jovan pointed out, like Illinois ended the season on top, playing well, and Indiana ended the season losing a bazillion games. Illinois has already played a game this season, and they absolutely curb stomped Wyoming, who we all think of Wyoming football as like one of those like mid-tier teams that's good, but they actually stink this year. So I think that might be a little bit of an overreaction there on Illinois. I'm going to be on the Hoosiers at home to get it done. That's probably my favorite college football play of the day, and the only thing that I really know that I have locked in today. I'm definitely betting that and definitely betting the Rays. And I really do think both those teams win. I do.
Yeah. You think ODU wins outright?
I think there's a real chance, man. Our roster stinks. We're doing a complete rebuild. We haven't played a game yet with our new coaching staff. Our quarterback is transferred from Marshall. So it's pretty much like it's Marshall against ODU today, in my opinion. Our best skill player is out. Our defense is going to blow. ODU has the best player on the field, which is ridiculous to say. Zach Kuntz, crazy name. Big tight end. Seriously, I'm not Zach Kuntz. You can't make it up. Big tight end from Penn State, and we know Penn State is a tight end wagon. This kid transferred because he wasn't getting all that PT. This kid might be an issue today for us. We have nobody that can cover this guy. Our coaches have already said that he's a matchup nightmare. So I'm worried. I think they're going to absolutely feed him. And I think they have a serious chance. I mean, dude, they beat us 2 games ago when we played them. They beat us, so they could easily do it again. And they're home.
Wow, so you're fading your own knowledge.
I don't know if I'm doing it yet. I don't know if I want to do it because I want to fucking root for us, but we stink, dude. We stink. If there's one thing I know going to school at VT, it's that we always find a way to disappoint. We do. But I don't know if I want to – I have to weigh if I want money or if I want to root for us to win for 3 hours. So I need to weigh which one's more important, you know?
Yeah.
We'll be seeing. But what a name from that tight end.
Yeah, for real. Cunts over yards?
Cunts over could be a play. It could be a look. Over 50.5. I'm telling you, our defense is Swiss cheese, and we're about to get carved up by that kid today. And he's about to get he's going to get spoon-fed the ball.
Capwise says that the Buffs running back today is take his overs.
The Colorado running back?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to agree.
I also think that the Buffs go up 10-0 early.
Oh, then you should not bet TCU, and you should live line and be smart and look like a fucking genius when you hammer them when they go down 7-0. Take them at a way better number.
Yeah, same thing I said.
No,
yeah,
if you want my honest opinion about the spread, Buffs go up 10. TCU's having to climb back the entire game, and they pull off a W. They win, but it's going to be by 7-10 points.
It's going to be in that middle from where it's moved because that spread has moved more than 7.5 to 13.5, dude. 6 points that's moved. I mean, yeah, it's probably going to end within that number. We could easily be too late. I know Cowboys Ben would literally lose his fucking mind if any of us liked him minus 13.5. Not saying we shouldn't, but he'd be like the CLV. Ooh, he'd fucking freak out. And he's not wrong, but Colorado they're going to blow deck this year. They're terrible.
Facts.
They're terrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to go grab my
good. Mahoney, our guy Danny said, yeah, live betting's the best way to ever bet sports with spreads. I agree, but then you have to just sit and kind of lock in and watch that one game, so you can't fire off, bullets left and right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to be like really in tune with the game and how everything's going. Especially like I did it a lot when I first started college basketball. Like you got to be really paying attention to how every single little thing in the game's going.
You gotta watch the whole game.
Yeah. You got to be at the game. You got to be in the game.
You got to be at the game.
You got to be Phil Zutley literally in the fucking dugout.
Yeah. Dude, the score app sucks for football.
Really?
Oh, It sucks. You can't be at the game.
Do they have the velo of the throws? The score out?
They got nothing, bro. They're late with the scores.
Jesus, man.
Yeah.
Their app is called The Score. How are they late
know.
with the scores? Grow the fuck up.
People are saying bang in chat, and I'm like, bro, they're still at the 40. What are you fucking talking about? Yeah.
Kev said when Clifford had diarrhea last night, he took Purdue plus 11.5. Good bets. Pulled a Lamar Jackson. That's a key.
What are your honest takes? What's your honest take on the Stros tonight?
On the Astros?
Yeah.
I love that over. I might bet it myself. I might have just talked myself into it. And I want nothing to do with either side. If I had to take a team, I would take the Astros to win the game. I'm a Lance McCullers guy. I am. But I think one of these two guys is getting their absolute shit rocked tonight. If not both, maybe. I mean, that total should not be at 8.5, Trent. It really shouldn't.
No, it shouldn't. It should be at 7.
Has no business being an 8.5.
It was at 8.
It opened at 8, juice to the under. And now it's at 8.5, juice to the over.
Yeah.
What about Sandy Day?
We were talking about that. Jovan was trying to get cute. Jovan, give me your little pitch.
I mean, there's no pitch. Like I think the Marlins have a really good shot to win this game. I think the total at 6.5, which obviously it's gonna be low every time Sandy steps on the mound, and Morton too, same thing. He's been great, but I don't know. I like the Marlins offense to do a little bit against Morton, and with the total sitting at 6.5, they do a little bit against Morton, they're going to be in or win this game. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Obviously, I think it goes under. I think Marlins win or at least cover the 1.5.
I think that's the book of a Trent 4-teamer. You go TCU spread, Doyers ML, Angels over, Marlins unders. Dude,
I do not hate the under one bet.
Sandy's not giving up more than 3 max. We'll give him 3. And the Marlins are going to strike out 17 times today.
They might score negative runs if they don't win this game.
What?
Yeah.
They could very well come out and score negative runs.
Yeah.
I agree. I think this one goes under. I was telling Jovan it's probably going to be 3-2 Miami or 2-1 Miami, something like that. If Miami wins, it's going under. If Atlanta wins, it's going over, in my opinion. I like Miami today. Don't be afraid of the plus sign. Don't be afraid of the under. Sandy, at least you get to back. I mean, you're taking a shit team, but you get to back Sandy, who's fucking awesome and incredible. And Charlie Morton, he's seen better days. He's definitely been better in the second half of the season, but you never know when the old man might have a tough start up there, plain and simple. Maybe he walks some people. He's had some trouble with control. Honestly, he's going to need to walk some people to get some base runners from Miami to get some runs. Because like you said, he might get 15 strikeouts today. That game's on Apple TV. Apple TV games either soar over with shitty pitchers or it's 1-0 insane pitchers duel game here. And that's I'm getting that vibe here with Sandy and Morton going against each other. I think we do get a pitchers duel here. Apple TV always has really fucking good games, whether it's tons and tons of runs or really close nail biter, low scoring pitchers duel.
Yeah.
So I'm with you.
A lot of K props got bumped down last night. I don't see any bumped ups. Castillo got bumped down a whole strikeout. Shout out Colin Covers, by the way, for absolutely selling the shit out of some KBO dude not getting a single last night. He got a single.
Who was it? Do you remember?
His name. And I also served up some cake as well. Not gonna lie.
Was it a Korean guy or was it an import guy?
It was a Korean guy, Lee Young-kyu.
Sure.
In Buckley.
And Giannis did not go over points, sadly.
Holy shit. What are they playing? Like FIBA right now for Greece or something?
the Euros or whatever.
Okay. Dude, I mean, who's the fucking – I'm not a big NBA guy, but what, Gallinari? Didn't he just tear his ACL playing that shit?
Yeah. I think he did, yeah.
If I was some of these NBA teams, I'd be like, what the fuck are you guys doing playing in this shit?
I know.
Especially after seeing that man's tear his ACL in these games that really don't matter. I mean, although they do matter more for these foreign guys because they want to win this shit 100%. And Giannis loves playing in that shit. But that concern, if I was the Bucks, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah. I was looking for Dugan over interceptions on PP, but of course they don't have it.
Oh yeah, that's slapping. Absolute slapping.
Slapping, boys.
Yeah.
You think Dustin May pitches well today against you, Darvish?
Friday night in the Ravine, Carrot Top against Turkey Dinner Darvish.
Carrot Top. I fucking love that. Okay, so I can lock in you, Darvish ML. Word.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah,
they have the goat up right now. They just loaded a bunch more running RBI props up.
For who?
You know, I like the over in Arizona, and look who's up for runs and RBI.
Rojas?
Joshua Rojas.
I'm taking that right now because I know it ain't gonna be there.
It's against a lefty though, so it's gonna be there. It's a tougher matchup. It's not like a smash, but
all right, fine.
I'll be taking it. I'll be taking
it.
Dude,
he was a lot. I can't believe you didn't take him last night.
I did secretly. I just
free.
Busy.
D-backs was sneak sharp. I had D-backs money line again last night.
Good bet, dude. D-backs have been playing good baseball. Let's not kid ourselves here. Yeah. They've been playing good baseball.
I was like, the Brewers a favorite on the road. They've been playing like fucking ass, and the D-backs have been red hot. And Corbin,
D-backs.
What's his name? Who pitched last night?
Merrill Kelly.
No, Brewers pitcher. Woodruff. Bozo. Absolute bozo.
Yeah, he is kind of a bozo this season.
Yeah. He sucks, bro.
Dude, don't let the Snakes get hot again, man. They're only 6 games. I mean, they're not making the playoffs or doing shit. The season's almost over. But I've been extremely impressed by this team this entire season. We all thought they were going to be absolute dog shits. Remember they got off to that crazy hot start where they had a winning record for a while, and they literally they were caking us all because nobody wanted to bet on them, and they were winning every game. And they're still hanging around. They went through a really cold patch at the end of the first half, but they've been playing good ball of late.
Christian Walker's hitting nukes.
That guy hits fucking bombs, dudes. I mean, Ketel Marte. Honestly, they've been doing all this without Ketel Marte playing well too, which is really impressive.
Dude, I mean, I know it's crazy to say, but I know they're 10 games back. They have a shot at that. They also I believe they play the Padres quite a few more times too. And I'm not worried about the Brewers. The Brewers are awful.
Brewers are awful. Awful.
Yeah, they're bad. Although they got something right trading Josh Hader. Maybe they knew something we didn't. Although Josh Hader's probably going to be an absolute menace going forward. He's going to lock back in at some point.
No.
But
they do have 7 games against the Padres in the next 2 weeks.
You talking about the Snakes?
Yeah. So I mean,
Snakertons?
It's on their plate.
I mean, they would need an absolute miracle. They're 10 games back. I agree with you guys. The Brewers, who are 3 games back of the Padres, who gives a fuck? The Brewers blow. But the fucking Padres also kind of blow, and the Padres have a series starting today against the Dodgers, who could easily sweep them after coming off of 2 losses. Another reason I like your guy May today, Carrot Top. They're coming off of 2 losses. Last time they've lost 3 games in a row was probably in that Pirates series. Sorry to bring back PTSD, but they've been so good.
The Dodgers, when they don't play at 7:10 Pacific time in the Ravine, are always kind of sus. Like it's like in New York, East Coast, 4 p.m. start. It's like super sketch, bro.
Yeah,
it's not the same. It's not.
Runs.
I'm seeing a lot of Padres boost today.
How are you?
I'm looking at another one right now. I just saw BetMGM. Padres to win by 2+ runs is boosted today.
What?
Yeah. From 225 to 275. They're boosting that shit.
That the reverse to win by 2?
Yeah, to win by 2 or more. A little reverse, little -1.5 reverse puck line there.
I would have thought that would have been higher. Interesting.
Yeah. 2 good arms. Shouldn't be that many runs today on paper, at least.
Yeah, runs are going to come out of premium in that one.
Soaring.
Yeah, let's also talk about that total for a second here. Wait a tick. This total's at 8 with 2 of these good arms on the bump. I was gonna chirp you, Trent, for the new Darvish sucks on the road narrative, but he might suck on the road tonight.
Dude, I take his Nerfy every fucking time, and he sells it every time on the road. It's actually insane. It's insane.
And then he locks in now.
And then Cy Young the rest of the way.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we see runs from both sides here. We were talking about it a little earlier. I don't think the pitch is going to be as aggressively sharp today. And
I agree.
At 8 is pretty telling in and of itself, I think.
Look, and I know, and I've kind of been off the juice balls narrative of late because we've seen primetime over narrative go to a primetime under narrative. At least I have. I've noticed it in these big games for the most part. So maybe they were spoon feeding us fun over winners early, and now they're fucking us. Would not be shocked. But if there's any series where our guy Manfred would deliver some good baseballs, would probably be this one. Darvish versus May, they could be in trouble today. I don't know. Two guys who are just kind of sketch. Darvish, we know is sketch, especially on the road. Dustin May is electric at times, but I mean,
yeah, no, he can.
Is he really this good yet? So, like, he could go out there and have a Josiah Gray type start where he's got electric stuff but can't find the strike zone. You know,
has 7 Ks but gives up 4 fucking nukes.
Straight up.
Yeah,
straight up, and he's better than Josiah Gray. By the way, let me get that straight.
Really,
I'm not comparing them, but you don't think so?
No, that was a lot of sarcasm there.
Okay, good. Yeah. Well, I wanted to make sure people know I'm not being an ad sucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get ready for stream, fellas. Have a great rest of your show. Krabs, are you gonna hop on for a minute or no?
Depends what I'm doing.
Okay. Jovan, you got class or anything?
No, I'll be here.
All right, word.
At least you got the milk, man.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cheers.
Sure. All right, brother. Go Frogs.
Peace, boys. Go Frogs. PCs.
Okay. We got about 10.
We do.
We got about 10. Our guy Get Busy Dizzy said, "Gonna look like a Thanksgiving dinner in LA."
Hope so.
I could get behind that over as well.
Yeah.
That over is sketch, and that total being an 8 is sketch, and I just can't get over that fucking the Astros Angels total.
Yeah. Both two definitely weird totals.
I would say.
I think it's a little weirder in that Astros game, to be honest with you. Both,
I agree.
Not just because of the pitching matchup, but the way that both of those offenses have been lately, especially the Astros. The Astros haven't had a lick of offense lately, especially in these last couple of series. Like, they got shut down by the Orioles. Overall, they haven't been very good.
Could not agree more, brother.
Weird.
Could not agree more. Let's go back to that UNC App State combo real quick.
Yeah.
Are you gonna bet UNC?
I just might.
Holy
I think it's an overreaction from the FAMU game. And when we look at how FAMU diced them up, first of all, I mean, just the approach in general as, a team playing a game against FAMU with 20 starters or 20 players or whatever it was out. That's completely different than an App State game where they know, like, the stakes. They know this is a massive game. The place is going to be absolutely rocking. So that's one thing. But you look at, like, the FAMU quarterback at 300 yards in the air. I don't think that's going to be able to happen with App State. Like, for one thing, that was also against their third string and second string or backups or whatever that were in by halftime. And second of all, this is an App State team that is missing their entire receiving core. Not missing because they're hurt, but they're all gone. All the production's gone from last year. Their top receiver who's coming back had 200-something yards last year. That's the most production they have, which is going to be tough. It's going to be tough to kind of adjust to that. And while I don't think, like we saw, UNC's defense isn't very good, even with the top defense in, I'm not sure I can count on that from Chase Bryce to do really well without, his returning receiving core right off the bat against a UNC team that is certainly still very, very talented. So I'm really not sure if I can do that.
Hey, I was talking about trap lines last night, and I was talking about how -2.5 is my least favorite bet to take in football. So maybe I do stay off this one.
Yeah, I think
that's where App State's sitting.
Yeah, I think they're getting a little over adjustment from the market playing at home too. I think that's a little weird. They've done this. I've seen this. A lot of those teams in that conference too. I've seen this, over the past year or so. And they're not really covering spreads at home. I saw a little stat today, which is a little interesting. But I don't know. I just think there's too many things going on with that game. I feel like App State, coming off of the performance that we saw from UNC, would see pretty easy.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I 1,000% understand. I'm picking up what you're putting down. You're thinking everyone saw UNC didn't cover and got kind of torched by FAMU, last week, and now Chase Bryce, big name that everyone knows, but not a lot of people probably know the rest, about the rest of that team. They probably don't know that they lost all their fucking receivers. And maybe they're laying this here as a trap to get some money on App State. I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it. Haglin, you want us to talk about Oregon UGA? Super down. Give me Oregon first half. Get in, get out. Don't get cute. I could see Georgia coming out a little flat here, almost like a Super Bowl hangover type fade. They're coming off of the natty. So give me Oregon first half. I like them full game as well. I think I remember you talking about Oregon a week or so ago, saying you like them as well today in Bo Nix.
I don't know if I like them this game, but I'm hoping they come out. I'm honestly hoping they get killed in this game. Like that's aside because I want to back them the rest of the year because I think they're going to be the class of this conference for the rest of the year. We hear all about USC, we hear about Utah. The additions that they've kept or made or whatever, Utah's returning all their production. USC has, the coaching. They have Caleb Williams now. I think Dan Lanning is like secretly one of the better additions or, whatever out of those three. I think that is going to have one of the biggest differences. So I think that they're going to be I think they're going to win this conference, to be honest with you. I'm not buying into the hype for either of those teams. So I'm hoping they come out a little slow in this game, and I'm hoping they lose pretty big because I think we'll get a lot of value on them throughout the year. I'm not as big on those other two teams.
Well, if you really think they're going to win this conference, which I do not disagree at all with you, after they lose this weekend, you should let me place a fucking future for you because you can't be throwing that around and not have some skin on that because that's going to be juiced.
Oh, I know.
So text me about that next week. I can put that in for you.
For sure.
Because I know you're down in Texas. I mean, because that's going to be absolutely juiced, especially if they lose to. I mean, they're going to lose to Georgia. It's just a matter of how much.
Yeah,
you're going to get them at probably plus 1,000, right?
I would think somewhere around there.
I'm assuming somewhere. So you got to sprinkle, even if it's $10, dude.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I mean, I think there's two sides of it too, because like I do think they're going to lose this game. Obviously, they're 17-point underdogs. That is another line that I hate betting. The 16.5, 17.5. I try to stay away from those generally.
Just both sides you hate.
Both sides. I feel like those lines are very, very sharp. That's what I've seen betting, and obviously I'm not as heavy into football betting as other sports, but I've seen that line a lot. And I hate those lines, but there's both sides of it. Like I would love for them to be competitive in this game in the same way because I would like to see, some of what we're going to see throughout the season kind of show itself in the first game against a very talented Georgia team. But I don't know. I think they'll compete a little bit for sure, but I expect more so down the rest of the season to be the team.
Okay. We've got about 3 minutes. Let's talk about what we're going to lock in for today. I'll go first. Here's what I'm 99% sure I'm going to be betting on today. Well, I'm definitely going to bet on the Rays.
Yep.
I'm definitely going to bet on the over in Houston and the Angels. Those are probably my two baseball bets today. And then we move to the gridiron, where I'm still going to go ahead and wait out VTODU. I want to see how that line continues to move. I want to hear some people's opinions on that game. But I'll tell you right now, I'll be on Indiana at home, probably -1. Those are my 3 bets that I'm locking in for today.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
As far as football goes, I don't know if I love anything enough to lock it in with the slate today, other than, I have my TCU ticket. Obviously, I'll be rooting for that game, but we'll see. I want to see if there's any late movement on any of these games. I'm not particularly in love with them. But as far as baseball goes, I will definitely be on the Astros over. Definitely will be on the Rays. Definitely will be on the Dodgers over, and probably going to end up on the D-backs over as well.
Sure.
You got a couple of good looks for overs. Prize picks I'll kind of be diving into. I'll come on Trent stream with some of those, but I don't really like that board either today. But I like some runs. I like the spots for runs. Yeah, that's probably what I'll be on.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Are there any college football bets that you're locked in today besides TCU?
It's the only one right now.
Just let that ride. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll be talking with everybody. See, I was initially eyeing the Temple Duke under. Somebody brought my attention to that, but I don't know if I can play that line move either. It's a tough one.
Those teams blow.
Yeah, they're bad. They're bad, and turnovers are really my only concern for that, to be honest with you, along with the line move. But we'll see. We'll see what everything comes out looking.
I like that under as well. And I like that it's moved 3 points, but I hope you haven't lost all your value.
Yeah.
Illinois, Indiana, who wins that game tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I would think Indiana. I would have to think with that line and what the teams are telling you. I like to fade kind of overreactions from week 0, like we were talking about with UNC, and like we saw with Illinois playing really, really well against Wyoming. So it's a thing. But that's a really, really suspicious line. If there's another move their way, I would love that.
Same. If that ends up like -1.5 or some bullshit, I'm in. I'll be playing it either way, though. I mean, let's not overthink this one. Indiana blows. Illinois has been good. Illinois just stomped Wyoming, but this is not Josh Allen's Wyoming. This Wyoming team actually kind of sucks. And they showed it in week 0, obviously. Like you said, overreaction. Give me Indiana at home. No fucking reason they should be a favorite. And the fact that they are tells me they win. Bada bing, bada boom. Don't overthink it. All right?
Yeah.
Jovan, let me know what you end up taking today. Good looks on spoon feeding the kids some plays today and on Trent's stream. I know you'll get them right with the squares. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you
too. Have
too.
a good weekend. Chat, it's Friday. Let's have a fucking day. We've got football tonight. We've got some great baseball games tonight. Let's hit some fucking bets. Went 2-1 yesterday. Let's carry that momentum on to today. 1 unit plays, bada bing, bada boom. We're going to be all right. Let's have a fucking day. Let's build that bankroll up because we got NFL coming. Less than a week. Let's fucking go. We know that's the prized possession. Jovan, we'll be seeing, brother.